Hello, my Milton family, my brothers and sisters in Christ. I want to invite you to our Lenten study. And our Lenten study that Bishop Jung has prepared for us and that I will lead, and also everyone will be able to participate and be invited to talk about, is our study about radical inclusion and racial justice. I know this is a topic that is hard for some, or for some, it might just not matter at all, or for some, it might be very important. See, the important thing is not what we think about it, but what we can learn from it. What we can learn about Christ from our Lenten study. The whole purpose of Lent is to suffer with Christ. That's why we give something up. But really, I think it just goes deeper than just suffering. That's just the surface level. Because what Christ did was to be in our shoes. Even though he was God, even though he had power, he did not consider to use it for his advantage, but he humbled himself to become fully human, to suffer for us so that he may understand us. And I think that is the more deeper meaning of Lent. And I invite you through this Lenten study that we be able to put ourselves in someone else's shoes. Quite frankly, in the United States, someone's shoes that are not as powerful as us. To be able to have that mentality, to be able to experience that and to process that in ourselves is something that I invite us to do. At the very least, even though we may not meet anyone uh, who is of a different race, although your pastor is, even though we might not meet anyone, it's important that we do this because it really gives us a heart of understanding of what Christ was, how much you are loved, how much everyone is loved. So I invite you to join in. Joining in is really easy. Our study will kick off with our Ash Wednesday service. So hopefully you will be able to go in to our website or on the landing page, which is, if you're seeing this, you're probably in it already. And you'll be able to go into the study just to have a time to think about this issue, what it means, what going into Lent, of truly trying to understand someone, what that means. Hopefully, you will be able to have that time as we kick off on our Ash Wednesday service. The way that we're going to do the study is pretty simple. It's going to be 4 steps. So, we're going to read the study. When I think of the answers to the question, Bishop Jung does a very good job of imposing these very challenging questions. And they're meant to be challenging. They're meant to really provoke your thoughts. The reason why we do that is because we want to challenge ourselves to go into someone else's shoes because that is not an easy thing to do. That's a very difficult and, quite frankly, a very, very exhausting thing to do. But then that's exactly what Christ did for us. I also invite you to listen. I really want to add in a little bit more of the biblical background or the passages so that it's not just cherry picking verses from the Bible, but that we have a greater understanding, a greater picture of why we have to do the things and think the way that we have to do. And also, I invite you every Wednesday at 6 o'clock to join in our Zoom meetings, to talk about these issues, to have the tradition of our Lenten studies going. Now, normally the whole study would be in one part if things were normal, but I found that it might be better, or I thought that it might be better if we could do it piecemeal or at our own pace. So, these 4 steps, you are more than welcome to take your time. Every new unit of study is going to be uploaded on Sunday, and that will give us time to think, contemplate, and on Wednesdays, we'll be able to have a discussion. And on Thursdays and Fridays, I hope that is a time for you to think about the things that were said, time to pray, Also, just a time to be reminded of what Christ did for us. So, again, I invite you to our Lenten study and hope in this season of Lent that we be able to learn more of Christ's love for us and to experience God's wonderful